Good day. My group is covered by Maricela Hernández, Edwin Vera, and Albaniana Pinto. Today we will study our qualitative psychosocial inclusion for children and young people with cognitive disability. Introduction. The research to be carried out arises from the need of house children with cognitive disability who are accepted in educational institutions but are not included in the correct way in the psychosocial environment sign due to lack of information methodology or simply initiative and their out community that do not intervene to improve the quality of life of the student population. Problem estimate. How to strengthen the inclusion of children and young people with cognitive disability. You have already big asset in the educational institution Maria Goretti has followed be, but are not big included in the correct way in the psychosocial environment.
General objective. Identify what existing shortcomings are in the strategies that are being carried out. Since they are now generating an inclusion in the psychosocial environment of the student population with psychocognitive disabilities. Specific objectives. Identify why educational personnel are not conducting regular research of how to appropriate and implement the psychosocial needs of this student population. Cannot through the psychocounselor what problems, affectation or students with cognitive disabilities have present as a result of living with their other regular classmates. Justification. In educational institutions, it is necessary to properly implement the inclusion of children and adolescents with cognitive disabilities so that they can achieve optimal integral development for these. An organized and planned observation process was carried out that seeks to identify the different shortcomings present in the educational institutions, and likewise to be able to assertively. Theoretical frameworks. Background studies and laws have been evidence in which they focus on integral inclusion, for which reason one of these investigations is entitled Inclusion, a history of exclusion in the teaching learning process, which talk about the process of reflection on inclusion. On the other hand, different terms relate to disabilities are canoed. In this case, I met of the cognitive area search and attention deficit disorder, attention deficit and hyperactivity disorder, Down syndrome, spectrum disorder, and autistic among others. Where those who manifest then are often subject to a lack of inclusion due to their limitation caused by them, often living then exist without hope of self-improvement and self-realization.
Methodology. Our methodology was embraced under the construct approach where that's to the concept of Piaget and Vygotsky on education. It was possible to identify different methods that play an important role in the process of acquisition, understanding, and relation of thought and behavior at a social level where the most influence they are their educators and the sound environment that surround them, which is we and observed was made to note not only the behavior of children in exclusion but also the other education entities that are continuous developing in the psychology field. In the same way, the human theory of Abraham Maslow was also handled how all focus in the social and person environment to achieve self-realization. Focus. This research is based on the qualitative approach with the non-probabilistic method and a homogeneous sample. Population. The Educational Institution Maria Goretti Headquarters B was selected with 150 students in the city of Bucaramanga, Santander, in which site selection criteria were based on the student population. Sampling. Time for the Educational Institute Maria Goretti Headquarters B aimed only at the student population with cognitive disability with an evident lack of inclusion that a psychology left that is 10 students among boys, girls, and adolescents. This was our research work. Thanks.